Hello Python programmers. So this is the video 5th of a Python basic series for beginners, and in this video we are gonna cover for and while loop, and we'll also see a range function. Now you must be wondering that this is a pretty strange combination of loops and a function to be considered in one video. So actually I want to show a combination of for and range. This is why I have considered this range function in this loop video. So this video is also divided into two sections. First is the theoretical part where we'll see that what is the syntax of these three topics, and then the second part will be the practical one where we'll actually write our code to see that what are the inputs that we need to provide for all these three tokens here. Okay, so now let's move on to our first topic, which is while loop. Now before starting loop, let me try to explain you what a loop actually means. Now as the name suggests, loop is a piece of code or a section of your program that we want to be executed multiple times. As the name suggests, a loop whose ending and starting points are connected, so they move on continuously until we want them to be stopped. So let's consider our first topic, which is while loop. Now this is the syntax here. First we write the keyword while here, and then the condition, and then we write the section of commands that should be considered under this while loop. Now let me see that how these things work. So I'll open a Python IDE. Now a new file here. Okay, so let's write a while program here. So I'll see that what is the syntax. Okay, so first of all we'll write the while keyword, while, and then a condition. So what I'm gonna do is I'll create a I variable, and let's say the I variable is having the value 10. So now let's write while I is greater than 5. This I is greater than 5 is the condition here, and then we want to print I, and after each iteration the value will be reduced by 1. Okay, so now let me explain you theoretically that what will be the output. First the value is 10, it will go to this while loop and this condition will be checked, which is obviously correct. Then the value 10 will be printed, then the value just a second, then this value will be reduced by 1, that is 9, and then it will go back to this to check the condition here, which will be 9, which is greater than 5. Then it will go on and on until this condition is false. Okay, so let's save this and see how our output looks. So let's say 1.py because I haven't used this name for a while. Okay, so let's run this module here, and there you can see that this is the output. Let me keep the output and input side by side. First the value is 10, and then 9, 1 is reduced, then 8, then 7, then 6, then 5 is not included because 5 is not greater than I, it is equal to I. Okay, so if we write greater than equal to here, then this 5 will also be printed here. Okay, now let's move on to our second topic, which is for loop. So a for loop is used for iterating over a sequence, that is either a list, a tuple, a dictionary, a set, or a string. Now let me try to explain you here. Here you provide the input as a sequence. A sequence can be these values, and this is the syntax here for value in sequence. So what this will do is this variable will go through each values of this sequence. and then this command will be executed. Now let me practically show you what I mean here. So I'll just remove the code from here, and then we'll write for I in, let's create a list here. Let's say that x is equal to let's say 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so now for I in x we want to print I. Okay, so what will be the output here? Okay, so just think for a second, and then I'll tell you that what will be the output here from this theory. Okay, so now your time is over. So first of all, this I variable will go to the indexing 0 of this list, that is the first value. I will have the value 1, then it will again come back here, then the I value will be 2, then again the I value will be 3, then again the I value will be 4 and 5. So what is happening here is this variable is going through all the values of this sequence. Now we can also take a string here. So first let's run this. Okay, let's run this and see what our output is. There you can see 1 2 3 4 5, all the values here. Now let's put a string here. Let's say my name Harshit. Okay, let's save this and let's run this. There you can see that we are printing my name here. Okay, so now let's see our last topic, range function, and then we'll see how we can use the range function in our for loop. So the range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0 by default and increment by 1 by default and ends at a specific number. Now let me explain you in simple words. This is the syntax of range function. We write the keyword range here, then the starting value and an ending value. Let's say you put the starting value as 0 and ending value as 10. So the range function will go from 0 to 9 because the last value is excluded. It will go from 0 to 9, and then this is the difference between the consecutive values, that is the increment, or let's say that we put the value as 1, so it will go 0 1 2 3 4 5, right? The difference between the consecutive number 4 and 5 is 1 only, and if we put this parameter as 2, so the difference between the consecutive just a second, the difference between the consecutive values will be 2. It will go like 2 4 5 6, right? The difference between the consecutive number 4 and 6 is 2. Now let me show you practically that how the things happen here. So I'll not remove this part because we are gonna use this in just a second, so I'll comment this out. Okay, so let's create a variable. Let's say q is equal to range. This is the keyword, and then a starting value, let's say 0, a ending value, let's say 10, and the difference between the consecutive number. For now, let's see what is the output for 1. Okay, so let's print our q variable here. Okay, so let me save this. Okay, so actually we have to print the list of this variable because the output is a list. There you can see that this is the value stored. It is going from 0 to 9. The initial value is included and the ending value is excluded in this range. Okay, so now let's see what is the output for the difference of 2. Let's run this, and there you can see 0 2 4 6 8. The difference between two consecutive number is 2, 4 and 6. Subtract, there is 2 as output. Okay, So now let's see that how we can use this range function with our for loop. So what I'll do is I'll copy this range function from here, remove this, and okay, so we'll use tab for our spaces. For I in range 0 to 10 with the difference in consecutive number 2, print I. So what will happen here is the range function will return a sequence here, and as you already know, the for loop accepts a sequence as an input. So this will provide I with each value from this sequence. So let's see how it works. So let's run this, and there you can see 2 0 2 4 6 8, right? So this was it. This was the explanation of these three topics, while and for loop, and also the range function, and we have also seen how we can use range function in our for loop. Okay, so this is it for this video. If you have any problem with the things I have taught in this video, then you can comment down below. I'll be very happy to answer your questions. So meet you in my next lecture. Bye bye.